All right, let's dive straight into this explainer. Today, we're unpacking a scenario that you have probably lived through yourself in one way or another. It's about a totally casual family conversation that accidentally turns into this incredibly deep, philosophical debate about the psychology of achievement. We are talking about the stepping stones to human capability. And look, whether you're a student cramming for your finals, a professional trying to climb the corporate ladder, or honestly just someone trying to figure out your own personal ambitions, the tensions in this story are going to feel super familiar. We all want to succeed, right? But the framework we actually use to get there, well, that can completely change how we experience that success.
So, picture this. We start off with a massive moment of triumph. We meet Lakshmi, an 11th grader, who proudly announces to her mom that she didn't just do well, she absolutely crushed it. She topped the entire physics exam across all sections. That is number one out of 250 students. I mean, statistically speaking, that's a massive outlier. It's a fantastic achievement that takes some serious dedication. But as we're going to see, this one sentence of celebration instantly sparks a much larger debate about how we actually define our goals once we hit them.
Moving right along to Section 1, the dilemma of success.
It's honestly fascinating how one single win immediately puts you at a crossroads. The very second you achieve something, the immediate question in your head is usually, okay, so what's next? Lakshmi's mom literally offers to make a special dinner just to celebrate the moment, but you'll notice Lakshmi's mind is already projecting into the future. That initial success morphs straight into the next set of super high-pressure targets. Step 1 becomes topping the finals in physics and one other subject. Step 2, leverage that to become the top contender for head girl. She basically skips the present moment of celebration altogether and just cranks the dial right back up to 10.
And that brings us to Section 2, the pressure of targets.
When her mom asks why she's putting so much immediate pressure on herself right after a big win, Lakshmi drops a really defining quote. Papa says, have targets and focus on them. Now, Papa represents a highly structured, almost corporate-style mindset. In his worldview, success is a very objective checklist of external victories. And let's be real, it's an incredibly effective philosophy. A lot of us use this exact method to get tangible results in the real world. You find the target, you lock onto it, you execute, and boom, you move to the next. It drives high achievement, for sure.
Just look at this progression. Once Papa actually enters the conversation a little later, he extends that checklist even further out. Top the exam, become head girl, and then, the ultimate goal, join the absolute best physics institute in the entire country. It's a strategy built on constant momentum. The goalposts intentionally keep moving away from you, driving you to achieve more and more. It is a proven, systematic way to climb to the absolute top of any highly competitive field, basically leaving nothing to chance.
But the immense pressure of this approach is perfectly captured by just one single number, 70. Papa casually drops this number as the ultimate target because it is the exact specific number of students that this elite physics institute admits every single year. So think about that. Out of millions of students in the country, you have to execute perfectly enough to be one of exactly 70. It really highlights the extreme, high-stakes competition baked right into that target-driven model. It's a system explicitly designed to filter people out, rewarding only the absolute top fraction of a percent. Let's flip the script now. Section 3, Infinite Human Capability. Here is where we explore a completely different perspective, introduced by Mama. She totally challenges this target-based system by arguing something profound, that human capability is literally infinite. She essentially says, look, having rigid, competitive targets, that's a great framework if you're a business optimizing for quarterly metrics. But human development, it operates differently. We don't have a quarterly ceiling. In her view, you don't need to cap your potential based on some external checklist. You simply focus on continually expanding your own internal capacity to learn and grow. This brilliantly sets up the core contrast between these two totally valid worldviews. On one side, you have the corporate or business model. It thrives on competition and finite targets, like fighting for one of those 70 exclusive seats. It requires intense focus and execution under pressure. But on the other side, the human capability model focuses on infinite potential and continuous development. Mama argues that if you just focus entirely on your own internal growth and mastering your craft, well, the external results, like coming in first or becoming head girl, they'll just naturally happen as a byproduct of you becoming your absolute best self. All right, let's break this down further in Section 4, Milestones versus Steppingstones. So how do we actually visualize this human capability model in real life? Mama makes a super crucial distinction here. Awards and trophies, those are merely milestones. They are static markers that just show exactly where you've already been. But stepping stones, those are the active processes of learning. For example, getting an A on a report card is a milestone. It's a nice marker to have. But staying up late, wrestling with a really difficult physics equation until it finally clicks in your brain, that active, messy process of stretching your intellect, that is the stepping stone that actually drives you forward. By focusing on the stepping stones of capability rather than just obsessing over final targets, Mama suggests you cultivate a much deeper sense of internal accomplishment. You define your path, use daily actions that bring out your best, and realize that just gathering trophies might actually leave you wanting more. It's a highly useful framework, especially for anyone who's ever achieved a massive goal. Getting the promotion, buying the house, winning the award, only to wake up the very next day feeling oddly empty because the thrill of the chase is over.
And that leads us to our final part, Section 5, choosing your path.
So what happens when these two completely opposing viewpoints collide directly in front of the student? Papa has literally just walked in, praised her brilliant physics score, and in the next breath demanded she secure one of those 70 elite institute seats. Caught right in the middle between Papa's highly structured, execution-focused targets and Mama's limitless internal growth model, Lakshmi just looks at her mom and asks a profoundly simple question. Now what do I do? She is standing at the ultimate crossroads of motivation. Mama's final advice is brilliant because she doesn't just dictate the answer, she empowers Lakshmi. She tells her daughter that she is growing up and has to neutrally and independently choose her own methodology. Lakshmi has to decide for herself whether she's going to be driven by the thrill and structure of chasing tangible milestones or by walking the internal, process-oriented path of stepping stones. And the best part? She gets to make this choice with the comforting knowledge that her parents are going to fully support her either way. She owns her motivation now. As we wrap up this explainer, I want you to really reflect on these two distinct approaches to achievement. We all have goals. We all want to succeed in something. But ask yourself, in your own life, in your career, or in your own personal growth, are you going to harness the structured, high-stakes drive of finite milestones to guarantee your results? Or are you going to embrace the continuous internal evolution of infinite stepping stones? The choice, and ultimately the psychology behind your future success, is entirely up to you.